Hello, how are you today? Let's talk about getting lost in your story. I know I make it sound so exciting. We're going to talk about how you get lost in the story, or you tell a woe, whatever it is. Everybody has a story, whether you're a coach, whether you're, whatever kind of business you have, or maybe you're a human being walking a planet and you have the story and you tell the story and you may be telling a story to build your street cred. Let me explain it a better way. I'm going to use myself as an example because I just had this epiphany. I coach women, and I coach women to come out of trauma, heal their limiting beliefs, figure out their shadows, reconnect within, rewire what's going on within you, and then reignite your possibilities and step into the life and business of your dreams. In order to do that, though, for years, I've been telling people my story of trauma. Now, before I decided to become a coach was about 8-9 years ago. It didn't matter what I touched, it turned to gold. Didn't matter what I wanted to do, I had a ton of success. And I just like life was easy for me. People would be like, I don't know why life comes so easy to you. And it'd be like, I don't know. I guess I just do the work. I don't know. Life's magic. Everything I touch is magical. I'm good. But then I started telling the story of being homeless and broke and abused, and I started to relive the story without realizing it. I became the victim instead of the victor. And I keep telling the same story over and over, figuring, you have to keep harping on a story for people to understand, hey, I've been there. If you're stuck, I've been there. If you've had a crappy childhood, I've been there. If you had a crappy piece of childhood and the rest was great, I've been there. But that piece of me is no longer going to exist. I am banishing that story to the great unknown. It's on my website and about me. That's it. I have no need to go on and tell people why I coach. I coach because it's my calling. I coach because God has put me here to use my superpower, because I can see people as they could be. Everybody I talk to, I look at them and I think, and I see people as they are, because they're practically where they could be. So if you're not where you want to be, are you telling the same story? Are you living in a victim mentality? And maybe you don't even try. Maybe you're not even trying to do it. I certainly wasn't. I didn't realize that for the past 8 years I've hammered and hammered and hammered the story until I became sad and mopey and I bought into it. And then I wondered why things didn't work. And I'm going to tell you where the epiphany came from. We had an employee here who I adored. We worked together for over 10 years. She was fantastic. She was an asset. She was a great friend. She passed away about 2 years ago. We parted on not very good terms. Sadly, things, went south, and, I still think about her every day, and I'm still brokenhearted that she passed. So I'm sitting in my office today and I'm thinking about something, I would just hung up on something. I was thinking about, maybe I should do more one-on-one coaching, more group coaching. And the phone rings, bing, 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 bing. And I answer it. I won't go through all the details. And it's just this weird voice crackling, some kind of long distance phone call, like from a different planet. And it says, hey, is so-and-so there, the person who passed? And I was so caught off guard because she hasn't been here at Arizona Alpha since 2019. We haven't had a phone call for her in years. And I just sat and I said, no, she's not here. Waiting to see what they were going to ask. And then it's this cracking, sound like, okay. And it just said, this is Marjorie, relay 5439, and hung up. And I sat there like, what's the message? There had to be a message there because it was so random. Whenever anything is random, and if you follow my videos, if you look through, you'll see when I did one about random a couple weeks ago. Nothing is random. This is an ordered universe. Everything comes in order. If you look at the patterns in the past, you'll see the future. It's just how it goes. If you're in the winter of your life, you're going to be in the spring. If you're in the summer of your life, the fall's coming. It's the perfect order of this world. So that wasn't random. So I call a friend of mine, I'm like, hey, Janie, this is what happened. What do you think? She's like, oh, wow. What were you thinking about? We started talking about this person. And I saw, again, this person as she could be. I saw her greatness. And for the time we worked together, she had really morphed into this amazing woman who could sell like nobody's business. And conversely, she saw a side of me that nobody else saw. I mean, when she looked at me and said, you know, you really need to go into coaching. She's one of the reasons I did. She's like, you really need to go into coaching because people come in here and they want to coach with you and they want to talk to you and you're so naturally gifted at it. She goes, you'd be so good at it. I'm not sure if her and I would have never had that conversation if I'd be coaching today, because it's something I never thought of. And it was like, okay, what's the sign? And the sign was, quit living in the past, quit telling your story, write your story down, point people in that direction, and let's get to healing. Be the victor. We all have magic. We're all unique people. That's why I use blue rose. Everybody here is unique. We all have this amazing gift, and it's up to us to find it and to share it with the world. And if you're not sharing with the world or sharing it with your family or whatever you're doing with your gift, then you're doing yourself an injustice because you're not sharing so you can help others. I am on this planet to help people because, yes, I have had crap in my childhood. It doesn't matter. We don't need to go through it. What matters now is I'm a CEO. I'm very successful. Everything I touch does turn to gold. I'm here to help people. So if you're stuck in a crappy story, and yes, it's your story, but it's not the most empowering story, let's talk. Let me show you how to take that story, find a gold nugget in it, because in every story is a little piece of gold. And let's take that gold and let's get rid of the rest of the story. Let's rewire it and get rid of it. Because when you do that, then you're going to become amazing. And not that you're not already amazing, you just feel different. You know, I did a podcast, and check it out, it's episode 99, about how in October I had this epiphany. I had this quantum leap, and this is still part of the quantum leap. It's still going on a couple months later. And when I got the phone call, I was like, oh my God, I'm going back into a quantum leap. I see, change is afoot. I think, didn't Sherlock Holmes say that? I don't know. Change is afoot. Things are changing. Things are happening. And I got to get on top of it. And I got to roll with it, and I got to go with it. And when things get moving within you, you've got to go with it because there's something that's going to become of it. And I've kind of been in the winter of my life for the past year, 2-3 years. I've kind of been in the winter. With COVID, I've been hunkered down. Today I had four 1 hour different Zoom calls, 4 hours on Zoom. It was like, ugh. But I'm in the winter, coming out to the spring. All the seeds I planted in the winter and the fall, all these seeds that I planted for my business, for myself personally, for my family, I see starting to get ready to poke their little heads up. And I'm from the East Coast. I live in Arizona now, but I'm from the East Coast, and I remember watching the little buds pop up, the different kind of azaleas and the daffodils and the roses, carnations just popped a little head up, and the garden, the tomatoes and the rhubarbs and the lettuce and the corn and the cob. Everything we grew, and just watching it pop its little head up, like it was looking around going, okay, is it safe for me to come out? Because I'm coming through the snow. That's how a lot of you guys feel right now, because the universe is going through a big change. And we keep hearing about this recession. We keep hearing about all this stuff. It's what you make of it. I will tell you, I've seen more businesses born and grow in a recession than any other time. And if you watch the patterns, and Ray Dalio did The Natural Order of the Universe, I think it's called, where it discusses the patterns and where we're headed. It's like a roadmap. But it starts with the story you tell yourself. And if you're not telling yourself how amazing you are, if you're not telling yourself what a superstar you are, if you're not telling yourself that you have God's light within you, and if you're not religious that way, then you have a spark of greatness. Everybody has magic contained in them. That's why you see all these books. And the Think and Grow Rich, which was written back, I think, in the 30s, and before that, in 1910, was The Magic Ladder. All these books, they basically say the same thing. The Secret says the same thing as Think and Grow Rich, which was, what you think about, you bring about. Think about what you want. Why do you want it? Get a burning desire for it. Get off your butt. Take action, and it'll show up. Now, I do argue that The Secret kind of forgot that piece of take action. You certainly can't sit in the living room and say, I have a Lamborghini, I have a Lamborghini, or I have a private jet, and boop, there it is. You got to kind of take action. You got to do something to work for it. The universe doesn't typically just hand it. They want you to kind of work. It's an equal exchange. Positive for positive. Whatever you want, go after your dreams. Stop waiting. Stop hoping. It's time. This is your time. Your little blue rose is starting to pop up from the snow and from the ground, and it wants to poke its head up and say, let's go kick ass. Tell a better story. Be more empowering to yourself. Make your self-talk positive. Make the people around you be encouragers. If you don't have encouragers, I'll be your friend. In fact, I'm thinking if you're in Arizona and if you're in Phoenix, Arizona, I'm thinking about starting to do weekly lunches. Just at a restaurant and say, hey, if you want to meet and just sit and talk, just meet and sit and talk. I have got to show people that when you can heal your story and take it from somebody that has healed their story, when you can heal your story, you can own your world. You can be so happy and so joyful, and anything you want will start coming to you. I promise, because that's how the universe works. I hope this helped you guys. This was supposed to be a 1 minute short for YouTube, and I'm on to 11 minutes and 5 seconds. But I'm so passionate about, don't get stuck in your story unless the story you're stuck in is one of empowerment and greatness. Throw out your trashy, bad stories. Throw out all that stuff that held you back all these years and start telling yourself a fantastic story about how you are a hero with a cape on. How you are waving goodbye to your shadows, waving goodbye to your limiting beliefs, and stepping into your greatness. Stepping in so you can find your blue rose and step into your calling. Have a great day, you guys. Here's to you finding your blue rose. If you're watching this on my podcast, let me know what you think. And if you're watching on YouTube, give me comments. If you have any comments, want to talk about this, or anywhere else my stuff is posted. Have a great day, you guys, and step into the magic. Become a child again and believe in the magic of the world, because it's very magical. Here's you finding your blue rose.